Where's the difference between where you're seeing the potential opportunity and then the actual implementation?
So I would start with, I am of the strong belief that agentic AI will change absolutely everything about absolutely everything that we currently do. So unbelievably excited about it. Where you're right, temper a lot is a bit like when I worked in sport. Everybody came to me with the injury prediction models and injury prevention stuff that largely was absolute bullshit. Most of it was just rubbish. And as soon as you dug under the surface, what they thought, they just didn't understand what they were talking about. They got a little insight and then they tried to go sell it. And I feel like that's what happened early with AI. It was the answer to everything. It's going to do this, that, and the other. It's going to be, and we kind of know it will lead to answers everywhere. But one of the kind of guiding principles at Amazon is working backwards from the actual problem we're trying to solve. And that deeply guides me. And I've become really into it. Like, I love the leadership principles anyway, but that's one that I really live by, around working backwards. What is the actual customer pain point here? Or what is the advantage to the customer that has a business case that it actually isn't just another cost center? And I early on saw so many people going down that rabbit hole of using chatbot-based AI and giving it board minutes, at times. I heard people to get into, and it just became this, like, it was applied to everything when it added no value or it didn't add commensurate value. And then it's before they even think about the economics and cost of it. Whereas where we've got to now with the agentic is so exciting. Like, it's so exciting. But again, still, there are still lots of problems where AI is being thrown in, where machine learning, which has been around for 20 years, can actually solve the problem. We just need a prediction model for that, and the problem will be solved. That the whole, but like, without wanting to put a down on it, like, I am like outrageously excited about AI, and the fact that you can have specialized agents completing tasks autonomously to come back to provide ways for humans to get better and learn quicker, I think is outrageously powerful in the human world.
As you just said, though, you need to understand what the problem is to be solved.
Totally.
I think if there's like a through line through this next period of time, whether it be on like the consumer side or the business side, like, people need to understand what they're actually trying to solve for in the first place. And I feel like just in business, a lot of people just don't get that full stop, put it in a consumer's hands, and like, you give them the genie, but they don't actually understand what they're trying to create and like why they're trying to create it. They're still going to end up with crap.
100%. And you know what? Again, use sporting analogies. With sports data, like, as you know, a real passion area of mine, tracking and sports data, and shit in, shit out. Like, when people think you can use data to predict, it's in sport today, to predict all sorts. So you have, people on the internet, people setting up businesses, creating prediction models for this, that, and the other, that when you peel the onion a little bit, make no sense whatsoever to genuinely educated people. There's no problem to be solved because the answer isn't accurate at the end of the day. But yeah, undoubtedly, those who have a genuine problem to be solved, or customer pain point, or process that can be improved, and there are so many use case examples of it, that is undoubtedly agentic AI is going to be able to help. Then it becomes price performance conversation. Then it becomes, all right, we can use the biggest, best model in the world, but when we get 1 million people and 1 million inference at that cost per inference, like, actually, we're going to have to charge them an amount that they wouldn't pay. That's not value, So this is where agentic is so cool, and you can break down the workflows to have specific models. And again, at Amazon, I think we're incredibly well positioned with the Bedrock family, in that when you're building out an agentic workflow, you need to have different horses for different courses. You need different models and the ability to switch them in and out, depend on what the task is in the workflow that they're fulfilling. So if it's text summarization, if you're taking in all social media comments to create fan sentiment, for example, you don't want to be using like a Claude Opus 4.6, which is like a supercharged multimodal model.
Yeah.
You actually just need a really simple text summarization model. It's got low latency because it's going to feed into the next workflow. So I think, again, comes from sometimes, and we're all in the same boat as we're learning, but people not really understanding what it is and what it isn't. I wrote some articles on LinkedIn about this earlier and got some great feedback around, right at the start of the AI hype, around people not actually understanding even what tokenization is, and actually knowing how does because again, curiosity and understanding, when LLMs came about, it's like, how does it know? Like, I feel like it's just like a human, which everybody felt like. How does it know what to say? I can't work out. And so then getting to understand tokenization, and then how they train the models, and then context and prompting. And as you start learning about those real basic things that I know they're not basic to everyone, but when you learn about those, it really helps you understand where the best places are for AI. And then again, like, we have lots of people who can help to do that. But I mean, it's super exciting.
Is that one of your concerns around, like, where the data is actually, not where the data is coming from, but the data that is being used to come to the answers? Like, is it actually complete data?
Not so much that. I think the context is key. Like, AI, you're going to hear a lot about context. And so, like, we have knowledge bases, which is the ability to provide deep context for a specific area. Like, undoubtedly, there'll be kind of big LLMs, lots of different LLM models, but then also you've got the knowledge and the knowledge bases and the context that comes from them to allow it to actually understand what it's talking about. If you think about why that matters, so LLMs are trained on the information that they can be fed into that model, and then they'll have various different training styles that enable it to understand what it is and what it isn't. If you, again, go back to sport, if you look at sports tracking data, there's not very much sport tracking data available on the public internet that is used in training those models. So HR Zone 4, Heart Rate Zone 4, which anyone in high performance will know what that is from their exports. An LLM doesn't really know what that is until you tell it. So if you've got a knowledge base on, hey, here's all the public peer-reviewed research, here's all the context for what those terms mean and why they matter and whatnot, that supercharges the ability of an LLM or an agentic workflow to provide genuinely insightful answers.